We said a minute ago, we started off by saying that the pros, and we were obviously tongue in cheek, it's amazing that they go 11 months out of the year.
Ooh.
Right? I mean,
that's nuts.
I could yap forever about why this is the hardest sport in the world, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
When you make it to the pro level, you are obviously traveling through different time zones, 4 different surfaces.
Yeah.
You might, it takes 2 weeks to win a Grand Slam. It takes half a month to win a Grand Slam.
That's crazy.
Right? And so to play consistent tennis just for that alone, and they're on a plane. If they make the final on a Sunday, they're on a plane on Monday and they're heading to the next joint.
So I have a question on that for you, because you think about that, the more successful they are, the more they're playing, the less breaks they get. Right? Mm-hmm. And on the other side of that, let's say like you're doing bad, you're pulling a Michelle losing streak.
We've all been there.
We've been there.
We've all been there.
Then you lose the first round and then you're out.
Right.
Then you're off. Right. No tennis, no competition. So that has to hurt you as well as much as being a competitor.
No
right?
doubt. I think there's 2 things to think here, and I think I see you, B. Lost. He's going to be my nemesis this podcast. That's okay.
You can beat the B. You're going to get the B.
Don't you live on B Creek, off of B Creek Road?
I do.
Anyways, whatever.
I hired the me to give you a shit.
But he's winning right now. Speaking of losing, I feel like I'm losing. No, but
you'll get the B. Yeah.
There's 2 things to say about that. First off, the Feds, the Djokovic's, the Nadals that play well into the second week. Almost every Grand Slam. Just think about how much more tennis they play.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. And high level tennis.
Of course. And so, like you said, if you get bounced in the first round, first off, I would love to have said that I played 1 minute of one round of any Grand Slam. So just to be there is insanity, right?
Me too. Yeah.
But yeah, if you get bounced early, and you got the next week and a half, especially during a slam, to do your thing. They're still training, of course, right?
Sure.
I don't honestly know, but I would presume that they hop on a plane and hit the next, wherever their practice facility is or wherever they've decided to go to next, and really hit the next surface, or of course if it's that season, training for the very next tournament, right? So they're just going to hit the ground. They don't miss a day. They don't miss a day.
They just train.
Exactly. They get right back into it. But that's a really good point. The best of the best have played twice, if not 3 times more tennis than
absolutely
than the
right,
other guys.
And the higher and higher and higher level to the finals, the highest level, and then start again round 1.
Yep.
So they have definitely an advantage. So I think the answer there is win.
Yeah, don't lose.
Don't lose.
That's my professional advice to you, Michelle.
That's good.
Well,
that's good.
I've been doing it a long time.
This is a damn good podcast.
Hey, y'all out there, if you didn't take anything out from this, don't lose.
Don't lose.
I want you to win.
Don't pull a Michelle.
Stop it. Stop it.
I'm going to get off of that. I'm going to win. So,
and you know what? To be all joking aside, it's such a mental sport that a phrase I have all the time, that I throw out all the time, Michelle, when people will say something like, "Oh man, I never make my first serve, blah blah blah, fill in the blank," right?
Yeah.
The phrase out of my mouth is, "Stop saying that, or you might believe it," right?
Right.
And so vocalizing that, and
that's a great point.
And being mentally, and listen, you're a competitor. You don't want to lose, of course.
Yeah.
But the more, and this is great. I think this is good mental advice for all of us. The more we think about it, vocalize it. I'm on a losing streak. And I'm just using you as an example.
Yeah.
The more that, the power of the spoken word is amazing, really.
Yeah.
So, my advice to you, on or off the air, tomorrow at our drill, when you guys come to our podcast drill.
Yes.
Is the power of the spoken word is can't be understated. Whatever we vocalize, whatever we believe, whatever will manifest. It really will. Yeah.
That's a great point.
So you're going to win this next match.
Yes, I am.
And
yes, I am.
That's right.
Dang it.
And this is where I was kind of going with this about the 11-month season. We also take this time off of the year. You went to Panama. You had a nice time.
Yes.
USTA leagues here in Austin, and I'm not sure what it is like elsewhere, but y'all's city league is called WTTA, right? Mm-hmm. And so all those leagues have ended right now, so you don't have any matches necessarily to play at the moment,
right?
But
I'm training. I am training.
Heck yeah! Well, you're here this morning.
Dang it! I was.
Great. How was it?
It was good.
Awesome.
It was really good.
We had a decent turnout?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, it was really nice. And I have to say, just being on a cruise, getting away, just relaxing.
Yes.
And, you know, and like,
Resetting.
and I think you made a really good point. When I was in my losing streak, we were in the heat of buying this tennis club. Plus I have my full-time job. There was just a lot going on.
Not to mention this killer podcast.
Not to mention
that you
this
produce.
killer podcast.
Yep.
Yeah. So my brain, you know, so it was just a little too much for my brain.
Yeah.
And so now I'm feeling a little bit better. So I think I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
Because
That's a really good point. I've asked people often if they've come to me and they've said, "Man, I didn't feel like my head was in the game."
Yeah.
I'll say, "What's going on? You got a bunch going on at work. You got this. The kids are doing this. Whatever."
Yeah.
And I'll get that reply. You know what, Ryan? I have, and so this sport requires so much out of us mentally and physically.
Yep.
That, and it's no fault of your own. You're killing it. You're balancing 3 pretty baller things right now.
Yeah, right. No, it's true. I love all of them.
And then to get on the court when I bet you your mind was still going, and I need to do this for Lakecliff.
I need to do this. I need to do this for my job, and like this and this and this. You're absolutely right.
And if we're not locked in mentally, we know how this beautiful, maddening sport can get to us.
I think that's a great point.
So I would be willing to bet that has a lot to do with it.
Yep.
And
that makes sense.
I think it was good for you guys. I know poor sweet Kathy, who I need to meet one day. I really want to meet.
She's coming in February.
Yes.
So I'm sure she'll come watch.
No, I'd love to have her.
That'd be great.
Oh man, how cool is
Y'all
that?
can meet my mom. Yeah.
Okay, Kathy, you got to come on and
We
say
gotta
hi.
come.
My mom's named Kathy too. by the
Oh,
way.
I know.
Let's get a couple Kathys.
The Kathy's on. They can meet each other.
My mom literally is a chatty Kathy. But anyways.
Mine too.
Yeah.
We'll just have them over there chatting with each other.
Keep it down. No.
No.
But anyways, that is, I'm willing to bet, Michelle, that is almost 100% why you found a little rut in there.
Yeah.
And guess what? If there's going to be a reason to have a rut, what a good reason to have. You bought a club.
No, you're right. You're absolutely. I bought this.
Bought this place down here.
And so now I'm going to get really, really good. I was feeling like that this morning. You know, just relaxing a little bit. So for y'all, same thing. If you're in a rut or you're just stressed out, just give yourself a little bit of grace.
Yes.
You know, we're human beings. It's okay.
I'll tell you what, too, Michelle. I do this for a living, of course, but I do my best because we all have life, man. I have a blessed life. I really do, but we all have stresses and things we worry about. I tell my clients this all the time. I purposefully check it at the gate. Whatever's going on, I can't give my full commitment to you guys if I'm over here thinking about things in my head.
Yeah,
right.
That's fantastic that you can do that.
I purposefully do it.
Yeah.
And again, to be my best for you guys, but also I need to be an example of exactly what I need you guys to do as well. If you're gonna perform, it becomes therapy to me. Whenever I feel right when I get on the court. I mean that. I mean that even when I'm teaching.
Yeah.
If
and you can feel that. I feel that when I have drills with you.
Well, cool, man. That's great feedback. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever told you that.
Yeah.
I'm on or off
No,
there.
you haven't.
Yeah. But I purposely check it. And I tell people to do the same. You leave it there before you walk into this gate. It requires so much out of us to just to even have a chance to win.
Yeah.
You got to check it.
Yeah.
Check it at the gate.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
And I think that takes some practice.
No doubt
because
about it.
it's hard to do.
Yeah.
It's not easy. So good for you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And this sport teaches you that, though.
Yeah.
It teaches you that discipline and that.
That's true.
That mind control, that strengthening your mind.
Right.
I have a young man that I teach, and by the way, he won this morning 6-3, 6-1 in his first round.
That's awesome.
Of the Austin Major Zone. It's a big deal. It is a big deal. He is. I love this kid like my own, to be honest, and I've had him for years now. His game is polished is an understatement. He has done everything he could. Where he gets in trouble is that negative self-talk I just talked about a moment ago.
Yeah.
I warmed him up this morning, and he said, I always get off to a slow start. I said, do not vocalize that. Do not tell yourself that, man.
Right.
I said, how do you stop that?
Sure.
And so I think we as tennis pros, if we're doing the right thing, we are helping you, of course, giving you a skill set but we're doing our best to help you, train you mentally as well on how to combat these things.
Huge, and it paid off in such a big win
for him. And he had not had a first round win yet, and he had just. You kind of asked me off air, what is this? And in a nutshell, in Texas, well, it's like this across the states, but in Texas, you have 3 levels. It's called challengers, champs, super champs.
Okay.
Without, again, going into great detail, you have to accumulate X amount of points to qualify to the next level.
Okay.
So he's gotten out of challengers, he's in champs. You get to super champs, now we're talking potentially colleges are looking at you. You're a real deal.
Oh.
So you're a real deal baller. So
there's a definite payoff. I mean, there's huge.
100%. And obviously they're fighting for ranking in the state.
Sure.
There's
big stakes.
Man, and a big state as well, a big section.
Yes.
There's only 9 sections in the states, and Texas is its own section.
That's amazing.
So to have
its own country.
Yeah, we were for a while. Not 10 years, 1800s.
Back in the day, yeah.
And by the way, if any of you out there have not encountered a true Texan, half of us will tell you that we would let's do it again. Let's be in this.
I know. We can totally do it.
It's awesome here.
It is a pretty amazing.
It's cool.
But
anyways, without getting too far off subject here,
Texas being its own
Texas
country.
Texas is cool. Don't lose. Let me recap real quick. And the Cathys are coming. Okay.
Okay. What's our topic today?
Okay. So maybe. The mental game we started off with in this little venture that we're on, and that's obviously a huge one.
Right.
We've covered a couple of the really important, the 2 most important strokes: serve and return. Today might be the most important thing we'll cover.
Wow.
To a tennis player's game.
That's big.
Well, I better deliver.
Yeah.
All right.
Setup.
Anyways,
let's hear it.
Cut.
I'm excited.
No, I'm just playing.
Well, but I just want to say, next week is our first time somebody can come.
Oh, yeah.
So based on today's topic,
exactly
do
right.
a drill on this topic.
Exactly right.
So excited.
Yeah, and I can't contain our excitement for this kind of unique platform that we were able to do here and interact with you guys, and not just that, come see our club, come see us, come hang out with us.
Love
play
it.
Back there. That's my son, by the way. He's doing some serving.
Dean.
That's Dean out there.
Yep.
Dean, say hi. Hi. There he is. But anyhow, he's working on his serve, y'all.
Yep.
But you can come be right here with us on this topic we're about to cover.
Yeah.
And again, interactive. I think there's no platform like it. I haven't seen it.
Nobody's done it.
No. So we're fired up to see how this is going to get going.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited to meet y'all. So it's 2:00, and actually next week is December 21st.
Oh yeah.
So you might be watching this, who knows, next March. So
right.
But we'll still be doing it.
Yeah.
It'll just be a different topic.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're rounding out 2019 here, and we'll nail our first podcast drill.
Yeah.
I'm so fired up.
So excited.
So,
okay.
Back to the massive build-up that I put on there.
Yeah. Drum roll.
But I don't think that anybody's going to be surprised to hear footwork and foot speed.
I'm so good at standing there.
Standing and staring at your shot is a very popular move.
I got that one.
Yeah. But our movement, sure. You can have the most beautifully polished strokes. You can have, again, taken care of every part of your game. But if you can't get to the ball consistently on time and in position, it doesn't matter how good your strokes are.
That's a great point.
Right? I mean, this game is all about movement.
Totally.
And that's number one. I'll take and I use this example often. If I had 2 players, one, again, with the gorgeous strokes, but maybe not as nimble around the court just yet, or I have a guy that is lightning quick and can move but has no strokes, I'll take that guy every time.
Oh, that's really interesting.
I can teach anybody how to move their arm. That's a learned movement.
Sure.
Right? The easiest part of our sport is the strokes, right? Learning the strokes.
Okay.
Sobering, I know. But
I know. I'm still working on that piece. Yeah.
Another phrase I throw around a lot is we're under constant restoration. This game, we never stop restoring our game. We can play.
Even Fed.
Of course.
Right, even at the highest level.
Matter of fact,
still working on things.
I had this conversation today.
Yeah.
When Nadal was really taking it to Fed for those years, and I'm roughly 07 to 12-ish, right? He basically couldn't beat him, and he was in Fed's head big time. The biggest the little loophole that he found that he could really exploit Federer was Rafa's huge topspin to Fed's one-handed backhand. And
Ooh.
and it just got up out of his strike zone enough of the time
to
have that little bit of daylight. And you leave a ball anywhere near the middle of the court or inside the baseline, Nadal's going to put it away, right?
Sure.
And so he went back, has now since turned his backhand. His backhand's better than it's ever been.
So he focused on that particular
100%.
thing.
And he's left-handed.
Yeah.
He was hitting right into that one-hander.
Ooh.
And that was that little sliver in Fed's armor that he was able to exploit.
So no matter what level you're at, and I used to say that too about golf. Like even Tiger Woods is continually, at his heyday, continually working on his stroke. Man. And so, it's no matter what level you're at. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So anyhow, the strokes are the easiest part, y'all. And that is muscle memory. That's me showing you how to train your muscles to do something, just like we tie our shoes, right? But movement, your ability to first perceive, see what's going on, play tennis with your eyes first.
Right.
And then play tennis with your feet next.
Right.
And then and only then do you really have a chance if you follow that little order. But we're going to focus on that movement part. So it's twofold. Number one is foot speed. And I don't have a whole lot to tell you on foot speed other than get to the damn ball. Big steps. Move quickly.
Right.
So run, essentially sprint to the ball. And we've covered a little bit of it, but there's all kinds of things we can do off the court to improve our quickness and our takeoff ability. But what's most important to give ourselves a chance to get going instantly is the split step.
Okay. And so when do you start? Like when, because you think about, and there's some people that anticipate so well. So they're probably starting before I even hit the ball. But for me as a, 4.0 level player, at what point, because I know right now I probably wait too long.
To take off for the ball?
To take off for the ball.
Yeah.
Like when do you recommend you take off?
ASAP.
Like right after they've hit the ball?
So I got you more specific. So if you're anticipating, which, a lot of these topics we cover are, they cover, there's several things that overlap, right? And anticipation is something I'll probably bring up on just about everything because it's so very important to know or to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Back to Fed, and forgive me if I've shared this, but it's so important. I think we could all hear it again.
Yeah.
He was asked pre-Nadal, speaking of, before Nadal came in and really challenged him and then kind of one-upped him for a while. He was asked in Tennis Magazine, what is it that puts you head and shoulders above the rest of the world?
Yeah.
When he was just dominant. He said, I'm at a point in my career where I know where the shot's going before my opponent hits it. That was his answer.
Wow.
Anticipation.
Ooh.
Insane, right?
Yeah.
And I believe him.
I believe him too.
He doesn't even sweat. But
I believe that 7-year-old woman that kicked my butt a month ago.
Yeah.
That same ability.
Oh, dude, she was
knew what I was going to do before I knew.
She was peeping you out. She's been doing it longer than we've been alive.
I
guarantee it.
I know.
But number one is you got to see what's going on. So I'll give a real simple and easy example. You hit a short ball. You give them a short ball. Okay, we're already anticipating aggression.
Sure.
We know that, especially if you guys are out there and you're listening to your pros and you're doing what you should do, in doubles, we take that approach shot cross court almost all the time.
Right.
Unless maybe there's an easy pass. But see, you already have that information. You already are expecting aggression.
Sure.
And you're already knowing that this ball's probably coming quicker, so you're on your toes.
Right.
Extra. We should be on our toes anyhow, but extra on your toes for that situation.
Sure.
So back to answer your question specifically, we right before they make contact with the ball, we split step.
Okay.
Which loads the weight on the balls of the feet.
Okay.
And gives us direction changing ability.
Okay.
Right? How many times have we been out there where we're like, man, I'm going to get involved, especially as a net person, and the ball's by you in a heartbeat.
Yes.
Right? And we're like, damn it, I meant to.
I meant to. Dang it. Sorry, partner.
If we could see a collective raise of hands, every one of us would put our hands up.
Would do that.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, so
yeah.
So anyways, so that we can have the best chance to take off, and that first step's got to be your quickest step. We got to get out of the blocks quick, right?
Okay.
So we split step right before they make contact.
Okay.
Again, now the weight's loaded up on the balls of the feet, and we pivot. Right after that, you pivot and cut.
Okay.
Right? And so this is my example at the moment is at the baseline, but and so. I think to answer your question, we split right before they hit, and the moment after they hit, that's when we push.
Oh, got it.
And
okay.
we take off.
Okay.
And I think that it's important for us to be specific, y'all. I think I think too many of us out there, and I used to be one, especially as a younger pro, we'll say something generic like, move your feet.
Yeah.
Like, well, obviously.
Well, yeah.
You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, man.
Oh, yeah.
For pay you the big bucks. Anyhow,
Good podcast.
yeah, dude. That's it, y'all. Move your feet.
Move your feet.
But we'll hear some generic, non-specific advice like, hey, you got to move your feet better. Like, well, I know, but specifically, when do I split? When do I get the weight loaded up on the balls of our feet? Watch, you guys out there, and Michelle, watch the pros. They split between every single shot.
Really?
Baseline or net.
Wow.
You
both singles and doubles?
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
100%. Check it out next time.
Yeah.
And think about a Federer, if we're going to keep using him as an example. He's gone out wide in singles to hit a ball.
Yeah.
He's recovering back to the middle. And the moment before they hit, they kind of hop up on the balls of their feet, right?
Oh.
And this gives them the ability to cut and change direction.
Okay.
Now, I think that's a good second point, too. We have got to stop moving when we're recovering right when they're about to hit. We can't keep running as they're hitting.
Oh.
Right?
Right.
So what, obviously to give yourself the ability to
go any which way.
Wherever the ball is.
Because you don't know what they're going to do.
Because if you keep running in one direction and you're still moving as they're hitting, we're not giving ourselves that real specific timing and ability to cut.
Right.
And move.
Got it. Okay.
So I like that. That's specifically when we move to a ball. And then I kind of didn't mean to, but followed that up with that recovery footwork, that sidestepping, right?
Okay.
So we turn and run to the ball.
Yep.
We sidestep back to the middle of the court in playing singles, back to the middle of your half, of course, if you're playing dubs.
Okay.
I break it down like this, Michelle. Let's break it into three facets.
Okay.
Balls coming to you, balls going away from you, or you or your partner, let's say, are striking the tennis ball.
Okay.
Out of those three, and this is my estimation, out of those three, what you're doing when the ball's leaving your side is the most important.
And why is that?
I'll tell you. Oh. So I can't wait.
Oh.
Because once the ball's left your racket, you kind of said this at the beginning, many club players, and I shouldn't just say that, but let's say lots of us, we hit a shot, and I call it the 2-second delay. For 2 seconds, we freeze, stare at your shot. Oh yeah, and then start recovering.
Is that in or out? Yeah.
Well, I can read the bubble above y'all's head. You're like, please go in, or or oh, that was a pretty good shot I hit. You're thinking to yourself.
Well, I think because we don't know.
Right.
We're not sure if it was a good shot. It takes a second to figure it out. Where I think for you or somebody that's playing, D1 or a great tennis player.
I played as a child, and
you know how it's going to go. You've told me that. You said if it's going to be in or out based right after you hit it.
Of course, right off your stick.
So I just think we're not sure.
Well, no doubt. No. But here's my go-to joke. It's legal to move and watch at the same time, right? You don't have to stand. You don't have to stand there in place and.
Think and move simultaneously.
Yes, which
that's
leads,
a zone drill. Yeah.
Well, no doubt. Which leads to my point about what you're doing when the ball leaves your side is why that's most important. You have two instantaneous jobs.
Okay.
Recover or reposition.
Right.
So you can be moving forward, right?
Yeah.
Instantly, right? The ball leaves your strings and you're instantly on the move.
Right. Okay.
You got to go somewhere.
Yeah.
One half of the equation is hitting the ball. The other half is where the hell do you go right after it?
Yes.
Right. And of course, with our topic today, that sidestep movement.
Okay.
Or moving forward if you should.
Right.
And dubs, my number's 3 out of 4. 3 out of 4 ground strokes. If you picked 4 ground strokes from any match, anywhere, any player, and showed them to me, I bet you I could justify 3 of them moving in.
Wow. Okay.
Again, a whole nother topic.
Yeah, a whole nother topic.
Get into the net and doubles, right?
Yeah. Okay. But when you're moving, that's a great number.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. 75%. So 3 to 1.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Was what I think.
Okay.
And make me tell you, when y'all come see me, make me tell you, hey, you shouldn't have been at the net.
Right.
Oh, go the other way. Right. Air the other way. When
I've never heard you say, "Oh, you shouldn't have been at the net."
Yeah.
You shouldn't have been moving up. You're always saying, "What are you doing? Move up."
Yeah. And there's that pause as well, right? We hit a good shot that we should move in behind.
Yes.
We stare. But anyhow, this is exactly what we're talking about. So, ball has left your side without that 2-second delay. Let's instantly recover or reposition and anticipate. Watch what they're doing.
Right. Okay.
So that ideally, when they make contact with that next shot, you are in the right place, have collected the right amount of knowledge, and you have the best opportunity to take off quickly to that next shot. So why I say that what you're doing when the ball is leaving your side is most important, because if you're A+ at that, it facilitates the other two. It facilitates your movement to that next shot, because you have the most intel on what's going on, and you've gotten yourself in the best place possible to take off for that next shot. And then of course that then could and will facilitate you striking that ball as well as you possibly could, and then rinse and repeat, right?
You know what? I'm so looking forward to our drill next week to do it. Yeah, because we've not done this in our drills, right? Yeah. I haven't thought much about it. I mean, I guess we're always working on it a bit.
You know, I was going to say there's, you know, if I had to say a phrase that, pick a phrase I say the most, it's something along those lines. Like, let's stop staring at your shot and start figuring out.
Yes, well, it's like it's every time, but it's not. But I think working on this just specifically, and just, I think it's an awareness.
No doubt.
Like having you talk about this, it makes me think about, okay, what do I do? And the sidestepping, right? I'm like, I don't think of myself as sidestepping.
Well,
enough.
You know, you guys do. You do. I mean, you know, you got to get back to the middle, but you would never turn your back and run, leaving your back to one side of the court.
Right.
We want both eyeballs on the court as we recover. So
from that perspective, if we're doing like a workout or you know, doing prep for it, should we be doing like sidestep drills or anything?
Watch a upper level junior, watch a pro, watch them warm up on the court without a racket. They do the karaoke, they do stages. I have my juniors every day with my juniors. I say, give me 2 laps around the court, sidestep at the baseline.
Oh, really?
So they're warming that up as well.
Okay, well, I would like to start doing that too.
Okay.
Me and your juniors.
Give me 2 laps tomorrow.
Then I can win. Yeah. Let's do it.
That's right. That's the positive talk.
That's a positive, It's part of 2020. Yeah. Okay.
So that, again, that's my philosophy. I think that's how I've broken it down personally for you guys. And what that does is creates a rhythmic movement for yourself. We've covered rhythm and tempo already, but where obviously your movement and how you get to the ball, how you recover, and doing it at the right time sets a pattern, sets a rhythmic pattern with your body. And the body is very disobedient by nature. It's very obedient if you make it do something for long periods of time. You set that, listen y'all, if you set that your body in that rhythmic place, it'll take over. After a while, you can let the reins go a little bit, and it'll start doing it for you.
Got to trust it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And train it, right? And
train it and trust it. Yeah.
And so let's talk about moving to the ball, right? I kind of went in reverse, but again, I think that's, you know, once the point, of course, you got to initiate the point with the serve and whatnot. But once that's in play, what you're doing after the ball leaves your side will then facilitate your movement to the ball, and then ideally being in position to hit that shot.
Okay.
But moving to the ball. So I'm going to throw a little extra sprinkle in here.
Cool.
If that's cool.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
So
no.
No.
Oh, just kidding.
Did you say that? No, but I call them the 2 Ps. So we play tennis while the ball's in the air. You've heard me say that a million times.
Yep.
That's my personal motto.
Yeah.
And it clearly I brought that up because what we're doing when the ball's in the air, whether the ball's leaving or the ball's coming, is everything, right? Have you set up? Have you recovered? Have you gotten there?
Right.
So the 2 Ps are preparation and positioning. And this is what we do the moment the ball, we talked about split stepping, then loading the weight on the balls of the feet, and then instantly taking off.
Right.
Before I get into the 2 Ps, that instantly taking off is so huge. This is the other time we stare and pause.
Oh, yes.
The opponent has hit the shot, and we're going, hold on, and then go, right?
Yeah, yes.
We're kind of deliberating over things.
We're deliberating, yes.
And there's a word that sounds just like that, but be deliberate, don't deliberate, right?
Ooh, I like that.
Thanks, man.
That was good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And no joke, this is I won't lose track, I promise. I talk tennis so much.
Yeah.
Whether it's here or whether it's out there.
Sure.
I will oftentimes, this is no joke, this happened 2 days ago. I will oftentimes have my eyes closed. I know I'm about to wake up. I'm in that half awake, half dream state.
Yes.
And I'll find myself dreaming / thinking about things just like that. And those 2 words came to my head the other day.
No way.
I swear to God. I was like, I like this.
It's cool.
Let's be deliberate. Don't deliberate.
Yes.
So,
I like it.
Yeah. And so I think we all know what that means. Figure it out on the way. You have no time to sit there and analyze and deliberate over things.
Move and think simultaneously.
Yet again. And my go-to phrase too is I'd rather you be 110% wrong than late.
Yes.
Take off.
I've heard that.
Yeah. So take off for the ball.
Go.
You have no time. 1 second's an eternity in our sport, right?
Yes.
So the two P's that we have to get done the moment, assuming we followed what we said, split step, load the weight. Mm-hmm. Now we've taken off for said shot.
Right.
The two P's are preparation, which is what's done with your arm. Uh-huh. It prepares the racket.
Right.
And the other P is positioning, is of course what you do with your feet, positioning your body in the perfect piece of real estate for that said shot.
Sure.
So if we do those two things simultaneously, you got a really good chance. So racket take back as we're moving.
Right.
And here's the pattern, the footwork pattern we have to follow. Big steps to the ball, so foot speed.
Okay.
And as we get closer to the ball, we turn them into much smaller, quicker steps. Footwork, right? And those little steps, and again, you've heard this, all of you have heard this from me ad nauseum. I need to still hear it. I tell my people all the time, I just figured out how to make some money at this thing. I'm still a player. I still think about these things.
Sure.
But those little footwork steps, they offer you two things. Timing, so we don't set our feet too early.
Right.
And when we're responsible for a smaller area, we take smaller steps. Right? You've arrived at this small little area. And when we're at the net, we take nothing but small steps. I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
And when you're at the net, we should take almost nothing but small steps. Little steps.
I think I'm doing that wrong.
There's a lot
Tomorrow.
of us.
Next week.
Next
week.
That's right.
Next week.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
A lot of us look like we're stretching our hamstrings out up there. One big ass lunge.
Yes. I got the whole butt sticking out thing.
Very popular move. The old booty shot.
Yeah, the booty shot.
Seen that one a lot.
I get that.
Well, it's rarely taught, but very popular. That move right there. But
yeah, agreed.
Anyhow.
No, but I'm really excited. So I didn't realize that around the net, it's smaller steps. And why is that?
You have a smaller area to be responsible for. You're not sprinting anywhere up there, right?
I guess that's true. Yeah. But I'm thinking about volleying, right? And I have a big step and y'all that are watching this on YouTube can see me swatting.
We're literally
I'm either swatting at flies or
Dan B is finally gone.
Dan B is gone, thank goodness. Yeah. But I think about the volley when you talk about, because you said in the volley to step and hit simultaneously, right? So is that a big step or a small step?
If we could classify a bigger step, that's your biggest step, because that's your weight transfer step.
Yes.
You're transferring all of your weight into the shot, but leading up to it, nothing but super little ones.
Got it. Okay, so it's almost opposite of everywhere else on the court.
How about that?
Right?
I've never thought about that.
Small, then big. Yeah. Everywhere else, it's bigger, big, then small.
Exactly. Very good.
Thank you.
You're paying attention.
Do I get a sticker?
Man, absolutely. You get a gold star. Is what you get.
Woohoo! See, that's a win. I'm counting that as a win.
You get your very own tennis club. That's what you get, Michelle.
Oh, yay!
How about that?
I want a tennis club.
Oh, that's awesome. So, anyways, we use these, back to the baseline, we use these little tiny steps. And again, they offer us two things. We can get there early, and oftentimes in doubles we do. We're responsible for half a court, not singles.
Yeah.
And what we got to do is continue to use these little steps until right before the ball hits the ground. That's when you set your feet and execute your shot.
Right.
So it offers this timing. When we set way too early, we use big old steps, get there and just plant, and too much time passes before we make a swing or get up to the ball. It's disruptive to rhythm and oftentimes invites lunging. There's this little clock in the back of your head kind of going, it's time to swing.
Yep.
And anyhow, when we get heavy-footed and planted far too early, that can be disruptive. So
we plant when the ball bounces?
The moment before the ball hits the court, you plant your feet.
Now, so I have a question on that because the ball can, with different spins, will go different ways. So that feels a little early. So
when it comes to the spin, hopefully you're anticipating and you already have a good idea of what the ball is going to do when it hits the ground.
Okay, based on that player.
I'm talking the millisecond before the ball hits the ground, that's when you set.
Okay.
Anything too early or still moving as it's hitting the ground, we're overrunning.
It's okay.
Right. I would say one of the top things I talk about as well, most of us pros out there I think would agree, is spacing, overrunning the ball.
Oh, yes.
Not setting our feet at the right time. And again, that specific time, and it's a very fine line, is the moment before it hits the court.
I think that's such a tricky thing.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It's the timing, and it's milliseconds.
It is.
And if you can get that right, I think it'll improve your game so much.
Oh, my goodness. If we listen, everybody out there, if you can figure out how to know exactly when to start moving your feet and know exactly when to stop, the game slows way down.
Yeah.
it comes to you and you anticipate well. Think about this: you have your eyeballs, you got your feet, and you got your swing.
Right.
Your swing is easily third most important.
That is amazing.
Isn't that
That's
crazy?
so shocking.
Isn't that
yeah.
crazy? And that's the truth. If you don't have the first two,
Yeah.
doesn't matter how good your strokes are.
Absolutely.
Oftentimes you're not going to find consistency.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
and so
interesting.
or be consistently
it.
consistent. So yeah, the moment before it hits the court, that's when we set.
Okay.
And now we've come full circle. Don't stand and stare at your shot for 2 seconds. Start recovering, and again, continue to do it. I feel like I'm telling you. I feel like I'm doing the show.
Yeah. Well,
No.
it's true
Well-
because I do feel like I want to see what's going to happen first
course.
and then move.
Yeah.
So it just feels so obvious to move while you're thinking.
Oh, you got to.
Yeah.
I mean, you must take in this information, deliver it to your feet,
Yeah.
and then again, then and only then do you have a real shot to execute. A, just one shot,
Sure.
but B, maybe 10, 15 shots just to win 1 point.
Yeah.
And therein lies, I think, if we had to put a nice bow on why our sport is beautifully difficult,
Yes.
it's that right there.
Yeah.
You have to do that movement, that imperfect ballet, that unchoreographed choreography
Yeah.
over and over and over in rhythm
Yeah.
just to win 1 damn point,
It's crazy.
right?
Yeah.
No time limit.
No. I think that's a great point. So many things happening simultaneously. And there's these variables that are continuously changing.
Yeah.
And your opponent has a different game every time, a different way they hit the
Sure.
ball. Because you can plan perfectly. Even like Fed, he's like, all right, I got Djokovic down. Then he hits Nadal. Damn.
Yeah.
He's got all that top spin.
No doubt.
Right? So like think of all top level
Sure.
players, but all hit it very different.
Yeah. Well, and bring different top strengths to the game. You use Nadal and Joke. Joke's the best returner we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Flexibility's through the roof.
Yeah.
He gets rackets on balls he has no business getting them on.
Right.
Nadal, literally, like I would not want to even like have an arm wrestling match with Nadal. Like he's the most intense dude ever.
So, yeah.
So top spin, we said,
Well, he's just, got
He's-
some
yeah,
pipes on him.
he's
yeah.
doing all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Not
been-
that you don't, Ryan.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah.
I try to make it look better. No, anyways, we have a gym right here, also at our beautiful
and
club.
it'll be fun to watch you get more and more pumped up.
I might have to. Listen, Joe, I know I keep talking about your husband, but that dude's ripped.
I know.
God, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I'm gonna have to have him train
My
me or
husband.
something.
I'm proud.
He's so dedicated, isn't he?
He is.
To doing his
there's
thing.
Dean.
Dana,
Hi,
what's up,
Dean.
buddy? What are you doing? Cool, man. Served it up. Awesome.
All right. All right. So I have a question
talk
for
to me.
you. As a teaching pro,
Yeah.
if you're and this has nothing to do with our topic today, but I was just curious.
Yeah.
For your students, if you were to say, this is the pro, if you're gonna learn, right now, and you're 7,
Yeah.
which pro would you emulate,
Man,
or would it be pieces of each pro's?
it's so. I have a young man that I taught this morning that is 15. He's 6'4".
Whoa!
Right. So he, and rightfully so, he's a beginner. And I would say probably 2 months he's been playing. His serve has already, it's easily the most natural part of his game. And he's big and he's strong and he's tall and he's long, and he just has a higher vantage point than the rest of us.
Sure.
So as what I do, we want to obviously equip them with everything. We would love to strive to be as good as you can. But you see where, again, Djokovic is an example that he just excelled at the return of serve.
Sure.
And John Isner clearly was serving was going to be his forte.
He's like
right.
9'2".
He's 7'11". Yes.
Yeah.
No doubt. But that's funny. But so this young man, we're going to shape him and build his game around his serve more. So
Sure. So each person is different.
for sure.
Yeah.
And his movement probably won't, he'll probably have to, and this is true in the NBA as well, the 7-footers don't get down the court nearly as quickly as the little point guards.
Yeah.
No matter how much training they do, they're just bigger and bigger strides and not nearly as quick. Diego Schwartzman, we've talked about him a bunch. Argentina, what's up?
Hi, Argentina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They showed us a little love, didn't they?
They did.
I've been down there.
Hello.
I'd love to go to Argentina, by the way.
Me too.
Man, I've never been. I played with a bunch of Argentinians. So
I'd love to go.
Buenos Aires
I was just
is-
in Colombia.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Wow. You've been South American.
Cartagena. Hello.
Nice accent.
Thank you.
Brought that back.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Anyhow, So Diego Schwartzman, very quick. David Ferrer, again, more built for quick movements around the court.
Sure.
So we tailor make who you are, what your body type. I think we've talked about this before. There's no weight classes like there is in boxing or UFC.
Right.
Let's use Isner and Schwartzman, 7 foot, 5'5", right? They're playing against one another, so they bring different styles.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. How about for me?
So, your natural, what you felt most comfortable with, was playing at the baseline versus the net.
Yes,
at first,
that's true.
Right? We can train anybody to do anything, but what I would say for you personally is, I think you decided early on, despite not really making it to 4-0 without really having any classically. I'm serious, and that's more of a compliment than anything.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah.
Really kind of figuring it out on your own.
My
for the
own,
most part.
the Michelle form.
Slice girls.
Slice girl.
That's right.
Yeah.
But I think what I saw when I met you is you just went, I'm just not going to miss. I'm going to hit a lot of balls in the court.
Yeah, it's true.
And so that's your personality. That's who
right.
you are.
It's conservative.
We take who you are and we just try to make you the best version of that. Also get you to understand that there's time you got to know who you are and break out of that and be offensive when need be.
Sure.
Don't pass on that for a lob when you have an approach shot.
Yeah.
Example. But all of us, every last one of us, should be laser focused on improving your feet.
Right, no matter who you are, no matter what your game is. That's a great point.
Yeah.
I'm sure Fed, Nadal, Serena, right? All of them.
Every one of them.
They're working on their footworks in a similar way.
Yep.
They're all warming up in a similar way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a great point.
There's some really fascinating YouTubes. I nerd out sometimes. We can go down the rabbit hole and look at tennis videos. But I think I mentioned Djokovic one time. Check out his jump rope routine. It is out of this world.
Wow.
I mean, and you guys out there, check it out.
Check it out.
But I mean, literally, if you got a second, go check it out.
Yeah.
That improves those little footwork steps.
Oh,
right?
sure. Okay.
And it's really phenomenal what he can do. And Fed, go check out a training session with Federer where he's on the court, doesn't have a racket, but it has a trainer, and they're going through all these various drills that improve, of course, I mean, every aspect of his game, but their feet. You ever seen a professional tennis player's calves? or
not up close.
Well, I haven't either. But Google it. No.
Have you? Yeah.
No comment. No. Google that too, or YouTube that too.
Yeah.
There's a reason why their calves are that big. Those little fast footwork steps.
Oh, sure.
Can I throw one more thing in about those little steps?
Yeah, please.
I said they were twofold a minute ago, and I wanted to round that out. It's so we don't set too early.
Okay.
Those little steps, and also for adjustment purposes. What if you did get a little close?
Oh,
what if you weren't exactly?
Right.
So we keep them moving.
So you can adjust.
Exactly. So last second, you can make a quick adjustment if need be.
Okay.
Who the hell's perfect? I mean, we have to be damn near perfect in this sport with your movement.
Sure.
I mean, you overrun one ball out of 20 and you lose the point. You know, it's insane.
It's insane. It's true.
How we got to position it on a dime, and as we said a couple times now, not wasting any time just staring and taking information in.
Right. Right. Don't do it.
Perspiring, not admiring is what.
Oh, there you go.
Shout out to my buddy Buddha, who, full disclosure, told me to make sure I said that and give him some shout outs.
Good job, Buddha.
Yeah, Buddha. Love you, man.
Me too. I haven't met you, but I love you.
There's no way not to
I can't wait to
love Buddha.
meet Buddha. When do I get to meet him?
My kids call him Uncle Buddha, right?
When do I get to meet Buddha?
Listen, I got to get his ass up here.
Yeah.
He's a workaholic.
Come on, Buddha.
Buddha, come on, dude. It's not like you. Anyways, I poke fun at him all the time because he's done such a good job at his job. You know, when you're a director of tennis, you know, one of obviously your privileges of moving up to that position is you make a little money off the rest of your pros. So when we talk all the time, like, what are you doing? He's like, in my office making money.
You're like, that's great, Buddha.
What I'm saying, Buddha, is you have time, so get here.
So get here.
Anyways, he's a great dude.
No excuses.
Another Cliff Drysdale tennis buddy of mine.
That's fabulous.
I guess we have some really exciting stuff coming up on the podcast, don't we?
We sure do.
Should we say it?
Should we say it?
I mean, it's official, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
We have the honor and privilege of having Mr. Cliff Drysdale come be a guest on the podcast.
I know.
At the beginning of the year.
Oh my gosh.
That's insane, dude.
That's crazy.
It's
crazy. I don't even care about winning anymore. Cliff's coming on.
I'll keep losing forever if we get Cliff on.
It's a big deal. I'm so excited.
I know. We happen to be his neighbor here, and we've said it a few times. And heck, I think last time we were on, we got the confirmation. I got a text saying that he was interested, but I guess we confirmed it later, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, the text you got was you just congratulating us on the club.
Well, you guys, absolutely.
I mean, purchasing it, you being the pro here. I mean,
No
it's
doubt. No doubt.
But for him to come on the podcast, it's I don't know. It just means so
out of
much.
this world,
Out of
Michelle.
this world.
I said before we went on that, since I can remember watching Grand Slam tennis, that South African accent is synonymous with, right? You hear Cliff's accent, you're watching ESPN and
the real deal.
And to be able to not only just pick his brain and talk to him and get to hear some stories and whatever we end up talking about, but to have that broadcasting Hall of Fame broadcaster.
I'm going to be so nervous. Well, I'm just going to sit and say nothing. No. I'm going to just fall over. Like,
I'm pretty
what's
good.
happened to Michelle? She just fell over.
She's okay. She'll be back. No, it's to be able to secure and I'll tell you what, if we weren't even doing a podcast, just to be able to talk to a guy like that, but for him to come be a part of our show, it is.
I know.
It's amazing.
It's mind-blowing.
So I'm fired up.
We're calm.
Back.
We're cool.
Woosah.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm. We're good now.
No.
Anyways,
We'll be fine.
Cliff's coming on, did you know?
I know. I know.
I'm so
excited.
Can I talk quickly around the net? I want to talk about your movement. We touched on it earlier. So
sure.
The split step is a must. If you don't do it at the baseline, you have to do it at the net.
Oh, yes.
I challenge everybody, 3-0 and above, split step. Add that into your game, y'all. It is a must. I think I'm going to add that also to the list of things that pros don't talk enough about to us, to you guys.
Oh, sure.
Again, I was one of them. I often say that nothing in this sport comes without tenure. It takes forever and a day to wear this sport, to get to the place where you see everything and then know how to instantly move. And these are just the examples we've discussed today. But, but to play 1,000,001 matches, to know how to get yourself out of a rut when you're losing.
Yeah.
All those. And so I believe wholeheartedly, and I teach it every day, you must split step when you're at the net. Back to that. Back to my example of I want to get involved. My partner's hit a great shot. I know I should get involved. Mm-hmm. My heels are on the ground, and it's past me in a heartbeat.
I so much agree with that.
Yeah.
And rack it up. I know we're not talking about that.
No, of course.
But rack it up.
Sure. Rack it above the hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, be ready to go either way.
Amen.
Yeah.
And that's what comes right after the split step. So one of three things will happen, excluding the overhead, when you're going to volley. So you're going to split with all three of these examples, but split step, ball comes right at you. Toughest one in my opinion.
Okay.
There is I'll try to make this easy to understand. I recommend using a backhand when the ball comes right at you for the most part.
Okay.
Racket's already in front of your body.
Yep, okay.
Versus a forehand that can get behind you.
Okay.
So split step, take your non-dominant foot.
Okay.
Place it parallel to the net right behind your dominant foot.
Yes.
And that'll initiate a hip turn, and we're simply looking to block right there.
Okay.
So that gets you sideways and block.
Got it.
Versus the very popular I call it jailhouse tennis, looking right through the back of your strings, poking it this way.
Yes. Got that down. I like that.
Or the uber popular granny scoop action. This is a much better option than those two.
Yeah. Okay.
So and there's just one or two steps to that. It's just getting out of your own way.
All right.
The other footwork steps that you'll take to the ball is that split step. And if you get lucky enough that you referenced it earlier, the cross step, which is your bigger step.
Right.
And transfer of weight. And we want to time that cross where your foot hits the ground right when the strings hit your ball.
Okay.
So you transfer the weight effectively into the shot. We step down too early.
Yep.
We end up having to hack at it, swing at it because we've already transferred the weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Okay.
And here's the one that I think what gets most of us in trouble where we start lunging and not, where you got to go get a ball or you're poaching.
Sure.
Or you're moving to it.
Right.
So we take several little steps or stutter steps, and then when it's go time, that bigger cross right as you hit.
Got it.
That's how we operate around the net. And
we're going to work on that next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got 1,000,001 drills for that.
Oh, yeah. I know. I've done some of them.
That's right.
I know.
A couple years now.
Yeah.
But those are the three things that are going to happen when you go to a volley. But those little ones, I think I can't stress that enough. Those little baby steps, tiny steps, and then the big cross when you decide to make contact. And then what else is new? Recover. right?
Yes.
Sidestepping back to the middle. One other thing that's unique to the net is we shift with our partners.
Oh, yes.
So
okay.
I think
But don't we do that on the baseline too?
Ideally, you're both not back very often.
Oh, well.
But yes, you would if that's the case.
That's a really great point.
Yeah.
If
something went horribly wrong if you're both back, probably.
Okay. Yeah,
but,
that's a good point.
Somebody's lobbed somebody and both of you went chasing for it, right? And that's
Well, you're right. We shouldn't be there.
Ideally, you're almost never both back.
You're right. We should both be up. Yep.
Unless you're Serena and Venus in the early 2000s when they won doubles tournaments, literally both playing back.
Really?
Oh man.
I gotta go watch that on YouTube. Wow.
These ladies, it's amazing. Anyways, of course,
sure,
iconic Hall of Famers, but they won Wimbledon when you were playing back the whole time.
Wow, that's nuts.
Insane.
Wow.
Insane.
I love it.
Yeah, on grass
they
too.
They can like do anything.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's on grass where it's the most recommended serve and volley surface.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Remember when I told you that time that
amazing.
It's funny how the game's changed. If you look back in the day, especially McEnroe, let's just use McEnroe's time as a reference point, where by the end of the second week at Wimbledon, the grass was all worn out at the baseline. Like it is still, and used to be all worn out at the net too.
Yeah.
No more. It's like super green at the net still.
That's funny.
In singles.
I love it. Courts. Yeah,
but,
I love it.
But anyways, that shifting, your partner gets pulled off the court, we laterally sidestep over with them, cover the middle for a moment.
Okay.
And then recover back as well.
Got it. Okay.
So there's the movement. I think that encapsulates most of our movement at the net. The only thing I want to throw in as well is that overhead. Back pedaling. Let's say an overhead goes over you. It's a decent lob.
Yeah. Okay.
Very common move for us to start back pedaling. We roll our head back on our neck.
Yeah.
And we start back pedaling to that overhead.
Yes.
A, dangerous.
Yes.
A, dangerous. B, ineffective. Not very effective. So real simple. With both arms go up, we get sideways and we shuffle backwards.
Okay.
Or karaoke backwards.
Okay. We don't do the side.
Yeah,
the side steps.
In other words, shuffle. Yeah. So sidestepping back, exactly.
Okay, got it.
And that's how we locate ourselves to an overhead, and then you might be surprised to hear me say this, but then recover. Recovery footwork is huge. It's
recover.
Huge. It makes
sense.
What you're doing when the ball leaves your side facilitates the other two.
Right. That makes so much sense.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, so we have a new GoPro.
I know.
And it's super cool, but I think it might be running out of battery.
Oh no!
So we might have to shut it down.
I think we covered it.
We did it. It covered it.
You know?
All right. So how can people reach you, Ryan?
Oh man, come see me.
First, come out to Lakecliff.
Well, that's right.
Yeah.
Number one, come see me in person. Here we are.
Here we are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But right here, Vega Tennis on Instagram, Vega Tennis TX actually.
Yeah.
Vega Tennis was taken.
Dang it! Who took Vega Tennis?
I know. It was actually.
Was it Sal?
That idiot. I'm going to talk to that guy. No, I couldn't believe it either. I'm like,
that's crazy.
There really was a Vega Tennis out there. So Vega Tennis TX on Instagram. Please come follow me. I'll follow back. Stay tuned to all our latest events. Lakecliff, teaching, tips, all the fun stuff.
Yeah.
And it's our Vega Tennis. Or I'm sorry, what is it? What's
Vega Tennis on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's our Vega Tennis.
Our Vega Tennis
Facebook.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
Same thing. Our socials, and we're kind of blown away. We hit 10,000 followers on
Facebook.
Addicted to Sets.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So of course, she and I, and she's incredible at all the marketing, but we're all over our Addicted to Sets as well, and Facebook. But come find me, and how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah. Well, we have the Addicted to Sets website.
That's right.
I've been doing some work on that. We actually have some bling with some like cool logo stuff on it. These super cool earrings.
I saw those.
Yeah.
Very snazzy.
I know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are they sparkly?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Really cool.
Yeah.
I had to wear the glasses because of it. That's exactly why I'm wearing them.
It's funny. They're very sparkly. You can win that way. Like, so sparkly in your opponent's eyes.
That's right.
I love it.
If they're serving into the sun and ding, ding,
bing,
ding.
bing.
That's super funny.
I like it. It's a good strategy.
No doubt.
Yeah. Also on my Instagram, Michelle Nipko, which is me. I love it. Would love to hear from you. Mm-hmm. And then, like Ryan was saying, Addicted to Sets on Facebook.
I guess we'd love for y'all to come check out the Lakecliff Racquet Club website as well, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. We got everything, obviously,
it's all
events
out there.
and
yes.
what we got going on out here.
But on either of those websites, you can sign up for the drill with us.
Yeah.
Or just reach out to us on our Instagrams. We can get you all signed up.
You know, we had a listener reach out to us this week.
Gosh.
And it was, it was incredible. And we much love, by the way, to help and spread the word of Addicted to Sets, and had some really nice words to say. And I said every week, I encourage that. Reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. We'll connect with you guys, and
Yeah. No, you're addicted too.
Get addicted.
Get addicted.
That's what it's all about.
I love it.
I know, dude.
Yeah.
Hey.
We're gonna get some good footwork.
Oh yeah. So I mean, we can't undersell that. I came out strong and said this is maybe the most important topic.
I know.
But we got to be able to operate on the court.
Yeah.
You got to be able to operate.
Yeah.
And we didn't even touch on the endurance. I mean, be able to do it for 2 or 3 hours, right? So.
That's why I love tennis.
I was going to say, I love
because you
sport.
have this fabulous, you get a great workout.
For sure.
I was trying to sell tennis to these women that haven't really played. Like, oh, I don't know. Like, no, you get this great workout and you don't even realize you're getting it. Right? So you get done. And I'll play tennis for, several hours. I won't go to the gym for several hours.
Of course not.
No way.
It's fun. I think if you guys are out there listening, you know what we're talking about anyhow, right?
Right, we don't have to sell you on it.
You guys should love tennis. No, but we're fans. We're fans of this sport, number one. I think that's what brought us to doing this awesome thing and having this club, and
I love it.
Getting to call this our life.
Okay.
It's pretty cool.
It's so cool.
Thanks, Michelle.
Right, it's so good to be back.
I know.
I'm not
home.
going on any more cruises.
You know what's funny, y'all, too? Last thing I'll tell you is I was actually scheduled to not be able to do this podcast today.
I was sad about it.
Well, me too. And some things worked out to where I was here, and Michelle was the first person to text us, hey, I can do it. I can do it this Saturday.
But yes.
So
it's great.
I know.
And the weather is beautiful.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's December, what is it, the 13th?
Yeah, yes.
Well,
no, it's the 14th.
Friday the 13th last night.
Yes.
Wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yes, the 14th, and it's 74 degrees.
It's beautiful. I'm here in, short sleeves.
That's why we get to live in Austin, or we live in Texas.
Somebody's got to do it.
No doubt.
May as well be us.
Hell yeah.
And you guys, come visit.
That's right. 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. December 21st.
Uh-huh.
Be there.
Be there.
Be there. All right.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, it was fun. See you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.